What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you are having a great one today, as always. And if you can't already tell, today we are looking at this beautiful fella here, the Star Wars Deathtrooper in shiny black chrome. Now, I did already open him. I started doing an unboxing, and then I did the classic stupid move where the battery died. So that's why he's not in his usual brown shipper and delightful plastic wrap. But hopefully that'll make things a little bit quicker. Now, I did really like this insert that they have, so I just wanted to take an extra moment to show how awesome it is, because this one I actually really like. I think it looks super cool. And there you have it. The figure itself, honestly, I like it more than the Clone Trooper, all things considered, but not the greatest thing in the world. I got it for retail. I pre-ordered this guy, which I think he is still available on Sideshow's website, if I'm not mistaken. We're just going to get that on out the way. So if you were interested in getting one, you can definitely pick him up. I honestly really like this guy. It doesn't look too much different than a normal Death Trooper for the most part, but I think that shine gives him a little extra luster. And here you have him in all his shiny glory. Now, I haven't put the batteries in yet, but he does have light-up eyes, and the little lights there do glow green as well. But for the most part, he is a pretty cool-looking dude. Now, a couple things I wanted to show up close real fast. This inner suit that they did on him is quite a bit different than the Clone Trooper, at least in feel. The Clone Trooper was a lot more fabric-like. This is more of like a rubber suit. So I do think that there's the chance that'll deteriorate over time, especially depending on weather conditions and stuff that it's stored in. But I think it looks a lot better. The other one on the Clone Trooper kind of looked cheap, for lack of a better term. This, I think, gives more of kind of like an armored look in a weird sense. So I do like it a lot more in that regard. It's not restrictive in his movement very much at all. There's honestly more block from the different armor plates, but you do get the nice little double joint there. A little bit of ankle movement, not a ton. Basically can't separate the legs at all, which is kind of common for Hot Toys, I've come to learn at this point. You don't get a ton of movement there, which, not too big of a deal. You're usually not going to have them riding anything or anything like that. But one thing I do want to point out, and I'm not sure if you can notice it as well, this guy smudges a lot easier than all of my other ones. So comparatively to like the Chrome Clone Trooper for one, or even the Beskar Mandalorians, it seems like the black version of the Chrome is just a little more susceptible to fingerprints and stuff. So you may need to wipe them down after you get them posed in whatever position you want. But for the most part, they did do a really knockout job with this. I do dig the helmet. It looks gorgeous. There you go. No movement there, but that's okay. But really, overall, pretty straightforward. Really good detailing on the belt. Honestly, just overall a pretty fantastic design. I always like the look of the Death Troopers anyways, so getting them in this kind of shiny chrome was a nice perk for me. I think it'll look really cool depending on the lights. Might do like a weird red light display with them. I think it would look pretty fantastic. But as for the goodies that you get with the guy, it's similar to the Clone Trooper in that you're not really overloaded with stuff. As you can pretty easily see, you get a whole bunch of different hands. But there you go. Nothing too special with them. They did do a really good job painting them. I think probably one of the better ones to look at is going to be this open hand here. But you can just really see a lot of the detail and different texturing that they did, and it kind of give the glove a look like it's got different fabric. And then, of course, you get the nice black chrome plate right there. But I really was pretty impressed with these. I thought they did a dang good job on the hands, so I'm going to give them a bunch of credit for that. can't really take anything away in that regard. It does come with batteries for the head, which is awesome. I've just been lazy and haven't put them in. Oh, come here, blaster. And you do get 2 different weapons for them, which is nice. So this is going to be the main one that the Deathtroopers would use once I undo the little strap there. It's a modified version of the normal Stormtrooper E11. Ooh. That's unique. So I'm not particularly sure what this function is supposed to be for. It's definitely a bit strange. Whatever. Honestly, normally, I hate this little bandolier that they've got on it. All right. This gun has made me a little disappointed just at how kind of clunky and unmanageable it is. All right, better luck time. There we go. So this is a different version of the E11. It's got a bigger board, blaster end, and that's pretty much the main difference there. I genuinely don't know what the purpose is. Normally, you would have that to come back and turn into the stock, but since it's already got one here, I don't really see the point. And then my other thought was maybe this part would flip down so you could use it as like a bipod of sorts, but nope. The front end here, unless it's just really stuck into place, not movable, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's how the actual props were designed. I'll cut them some slack. Now, one thing I do find interesting with these is they've got a visible energy pack on them, which I never really noticed. So normally the blasters, it's pretty uncommon that you would have an E-clip that big, but these do fire a ton of shots, hence the larger bore. So that's kind of a nice little touch that they did, although I'm still bothered by this little thing here, but I digress. He does also have a standard blaster pistol as well. I'm not entirely sure what model this is supposed to be. It's a pretty cool looking one, I'll say that much. I honestly don't remember what type of pistols they carried. I probably should have looked it up, but meh, whatever. There's no real moving parts on this. You don't particularly need them. It's straightforward and right to the point, but definitely looks cool. This one I might end up just giving to somebody else and using as a fun accessory. I don't really see the Deathtrooper getting too much use out of that. He's pretty much going to be toting his blaster rifle the whole time. But other than that, you do get relatively basic stand. Nothing too special with it. Got the nice Empire logo, and pretty much that's that. It doesn't have the dynamic one. You don't need it. It's just a basic crotch grabber. I do like the dynamic stands just because they let you do some kind of crazy posing, but realistically with this guy, he's probably going to be in a museum pose most of the time, or just kind of, holding a rifle and doing his thing. You're probably not going to want him sliding around and doing anything too bizarre, but you can get some pretty decent weapon poses out of him, I'm sure, without too much of a hassle. Again, you don't have a ton of mobility in the legs, but that's pretty normal with these guys, so I'm not too upset there. Now, I did mention you can still get these guys on Sideshow if you were interested. Definitely worth checking out. It's not the best trooper in the world, but as far as having a nice, unique one, he is certainly cool. And you can see just the more that I've touched him, how much the fingerprints do show on this one. You don't really have that problem with the regular chrome, but for some reason this black chrome just really, really does become noticeable. So that's just something to be mindful of. I'll just have to spend a quick time wiping him down before I really do anything with him. Pose him in the position you want, give him a quick wipe down with a cloth, and you're good to go. Definitely a cool one. That's pretty much all there is to it. They made them straightforward and simple, nothing too exciting for the most part. Let me see how easy it is to get his lights going in his head. I did just pop a hand off, but that's all right. But we'll go ahead and pause it. I'll throw those batteries in. We'll take a look at that. Alrighty, so it surprisingly was not as tricky as I thought. For those that are wondering, the top of his dome just comes right off, and then you got a little screw there that you undo. One thing that is annoying, there's something right here that is magnetized, so when you're trying to put the batteries in, they kind of keep getting sucked to this part of his helmet. I'm guessing it's to keep the top part on, but it did make it slightly irritating putting the batteries in, so just pointing that out there. We're going to go ahead and flip him on and see what he looks like. Well, I'm hoping that that's on. On. Right, definitely supposedly on right now. Let's do this and see. Alright, so yeah, he definitely has some working lights. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that his little, the torch on his helmet lit up. That's unexpected. Super cool, but unexpected. Alright, well, there you go. We'll give one more little look at that. That's neat. I like that. I like that a lot. I shouldn't, but I like that. Bravo. Bravo, guys. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just flip that off for now. So that's pretty dang cool. I didn't know that torch lit up. That makes my day. I like that. I think I've said that probably too many times. But there you have it. If you are interested in this fellow, like I said, check out Sideshow. I'm pretty sure they still got him.